Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome and thank you for watching. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. So this is about the butterfly at the funeral. It started already last week when I had my physical psychic senses mediumship circle group meeting again, and one of the members who had a dog who was already very old and had difficulties walking with the hind legs and all kinds of stuff and problems showing up. A beautiful dog. I knew the dog because I had visited her once. And, well, she had to put that dog to sleep because it got worse and worse. And as we usually think, as humans with all our programs and false belief, oh my God, I had to kill the poor dog and stuff like that. But being in the mediumship training group, she already knew, and before entering my group, she already had this kind of tendency, searching and seeking for answers and being interested in spirituality. And she had quite a good intuition and already got a lot of signs and stuff. And so she wasn't totally on the normal train of thinking, oh, the dog, I had to put him to sleep, I'm killing my dog and stuff like that. But she still needed some confirmation that she did the right thing, because this kind of guilt feeling is creeping in, as we are also programmed with these kind of normal, rational thinking processes, how to view things and look upon things. And when she started talking about the dog in the mediumship group, well, I saw the dog sitting at her feet, waving his tail like crazy and coming up, and he was so happy. And I told her, well, he's here when you talk about him, because that is like a call to the soul, even of the pet, also working with human souls. So they are there when you think of them and when you talk about them. And he was sitting at her feet, and she said, and how is he? Is he okay? This is all I want to know, stuff like that. And I said, well, just if I describe his behavior, waving the tail and nearly coming up to your knees, and what I get is he thanks you, he's so grateful that you helped him cross over an easy way without long suffering and pain and all that kind of discomfort. And that was a great relief for her, of course. And then she, some days later, told me, sending me an SMS. Oh no, we were phoning. We were on the phone. It was during a phone call. She told me that she had kind of cleaned up his space, and suddenly a butterfly came and even landed on her hand, so that she could even call her partner and say, hey, look, the butterfly right at the dog's space. And I told her what sign this butterfly is giving from spirit world and the soul of her pet, because there is no better symbol in my eyes for transformation than the butterfly. As a caterpillar, it is crawling around just eating and pooping and eating and pooping, and then one day, without knowing what will happen to him, kind of in his evolution that is built in, it goes into the cocoon and out comes a wonderful, totally different being that has wings to fly. And you know the way how butterflies are flying, they're not just like a bird going like this, they're flipping around, and it looks so very fine and nearly etheric. And to me, I know that spirit world or deceased souls, crossed over souls, they can ask a butterfly fly around my favorite person, my owner, my whoever, to give a sign. And most people don't even recognize it, or they think it's just a butterfly and nothing more. It is a sign from spirit world. So that was kind of the precursor where the theme of death and crossing over was coming in. And last Monday, when I was on my balcony with my first tea and cigarette looking over my beautiful green garden, already around noon, because I'm a night owl and I don't have to show up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning any longer for work. Wow, yeah! So I can sleep how long I like. And my morning is maybe your noon. So I was sitting in my morning that was around noon on my balcony, and I felt this unearthly, this celestial peace that I had never felt before. And it was so calm and so wonderful, so beautiful. I wasn't even asking myself, where does it come from? Did I create that? What's the meaning of that? I just kind of appreciated these moments, but it was a very, very special kind of celestial peace I felt. And then a few hours later, I got notified that someone near to me had crossed over. Boom, then I know what I felt. This peace was from the soul of the crossed over person, who was kind of, well, in a peaceful state, because fully in her soul on the other side. And I got a part of this feeling because I'm an intuitive empath. And that's why I had to leave you for 8 days without any videos or any notice from me, because I had to travel to go to that funeral. And that was quite a journey, more to northern Germany, so hours and hours by car. And I took the opportunity to stay with someone in northern Germany that I hadn't seen very long, and I could stay there overnight and spend a few more days, with kind of talking about old times, about that person that crossed over and refreshing memories and stuff like that. And it was really great. So, going to the funeral of that person, who was not an easy person and surely did not have a very easy life, and I did not have the best or had the best connection or understanding with her, but on soul level we are connected, and I wanted to show up at the funeral in dignity and give my goodbye to her, wishing the best possible transition to the other side. And I sent her a lot of love and light and reminded her as well, kind of telepathically talking to her or sending her, like in a prayer, my best wishes. I also reminded her of asking for help if she doesn't know what to do when she has left the body, and call in her spirit guides or her guardian angel, or call for Angel Michael and Raphael to help her to where she belongs to go back into the light, or to the dimension and frequency state that is matching her own frequency. So at the funeral, which was a very simple one, because she had taken on the faith and religion and belief of her husband, the Muslim faith, And they have very simple kind of tradition and rites to go about a funeral. So I was standing there, and suddenly a white butterfly was flying around the group of people taking part in the funeral. I saw the butterfly. One or two other persons saw and recognized and noticed the butterfly as well, but I suppose most of them didn't know what is the meaning of that. And I was so happy when I saw the white butterfly flapping around the kind of mourning group at the funeral, because even a white butterfly is much more of a sign. White usually is the color of, well, purity, the soul, the divine. And well, that it was a white butterfly flying around us was to me the sign and the confirmation that she has crossed over in the best possible way, and she was sending via this white butterfly a greeting to all the ones she left behind, her family, her husband, and her two sons, and all the other friends or people that came to take part in her funeral. So to me, that was a wonderful sign. And usually I'm not too, how to say that, I'm not too keen about funerals, because in the Western tradition, mostly the Christian tradition, you have to dress all in black, and I like colors, so I really had to search for some at least dark clothing, and found some to not go against and provoke maybe others. And well, that was it. I wanted to share with you that spirit world is sending a lot of signs. If you know how to decipher them, their symbolic meaning, you can get a quite different message than if you just look on the normal kind of level we're trained to perceive reality on. And so I'm happy now that she had a good crossing over, and that I was able to make the journey and show up at her funeral, give my last goodbye to the person or the body. And she was there, I could see her. She even came up to me and stood beside me for a while in her etheric body, and she asked me a few things that she did not understand on just kind of having arrived on the other side. And I explained telepathically during the funeral a few things. The questions she asked, I answered as good as I could. And she was smiling, and after a while, happily, she disappeared. And when you went into the light, then you are free with your soul. That's what I experienced in India, in Benares at the Burning Ghats. They feast and dress in white because the soul is free. Usually in Western Christian tradition, you come together and mourn and dress in black, and you look into that hole in the earth where the body will be put in. So that is a totally different kind of view. And I do not belong to any religion any longer, because to me they're all kind of man-made, and I don't need this construct any longer. One could say that my religion is spirituality and joy, love, happiness, and forgiveness, if you like. I tend more to Buddhism or Taoism, because they seem much more free to me, but they're all kind of redacted, and over the thousands of years, a lot of false translations and misunderstandings. kind of cloak the real meaning, the real impulse that in the first moment kind of birthed this kind of religion. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. And maybe you should be prepared, because Spirit World told me already years ago, and we're right now here and there in this time, the end of the great cycle. A lot of people will cross over. Be prepared, because these are the souls that do not want to take part in the experience of the shift. They made maybe a different choice, and there is no judgment in that, because this is the world of free will that was designed by Source, all that is within us and around us and in everything that is. It designed it to freely give the possibility for every soul to grow and evolve in her or his own pace and make the experiences he or she needs, and they are different from others, and we all incarnate into this body and play different roles in different lifetimes and incarnations to kind of test out nearly everything. So that's it. I hope you could get an uplifting idea about the white butterfly at the funeral, and maybe if you have to go to a funeral in the coming time, you can keep that in your heart and not kind of drown in grief and sorrow, but think of the soul of the other person that's hopefully free now. You can send love and light and wish for the best crossing over, the best transition possible, and that he or she will arrive where she or he belongs, in the light or in the state or dimension and frequency range it belongs to. So here we go. Thank you very, very much for watching, spending some time with me. Again, sorry for leaving you for 8 days without any notes. I hope you can forgive that. Now you know why. And as always, blessings, love and light to you, beautiful souls on your soul path. Bye.